I think the general feeling is that you have to increase revenue, right? Because we need money. Without money, we can't do anything. So the thing that I want to say is that if you could have a flat rate instead of 9%, 15% and all that, our humble request is if you could make it one flat rate. Makes life so much easier to do business. That's my request.
I used to teach public finance in the university, and I used to tell my students there are 5 principles of a good tax system, and one of them was administrative simplicity, ease of implementing a tax system. You know, Govt has a history. Until 2016, the Govt was 15%. There was no zero rate, there was no 9. There was a politician in 2014 called Prasad, who talked about reducing Govt from 15 to 10%. Then 2016, it was reduced from 15 to 9%. And then following COVID, it was changed further. It then went back to 0 for basic food items, 21 items, and then 9% and 15%. So it's been around 15 and below. So I agree with you. We are looking at all the options. We feel that the 3 rates are a big distortion. It's not economically efficient, administratively cumbersome, and so we are looking at what is the best combination. And we want to weigh it against how, if we go by the route to have a single rate, then we ought to look at how we can look at in terms of helping the poor, those who are below poverty, and maybe on the margins of poverty. There are always about 10 to 15% of people on the margins of poverty. So, if you do a policy, you could actually put all that 15% below poverty, or you could put them a little up and they survive. And it's also important because consumption, to a large extent comes from that category of people as well. So we are looking at all the numbers, the sums on revenue, how it will affect, and all these rumors about social welfare will be taken away, bus fare will be taken away. We've decided to get rid of that $613 million debt that students owe. And the reason why we want to abolish that or take that burden away, because the students are not paying anyway. Out of the 613 million or exact amount that is owed, we are collecting on average about 5 to 7 million a year. So the revenue lost to government would be around 5 to 7 or $8 million a year. But the burden on some of the poor students of that debt and parents is huge. When we came into government, we realized that people needed help. People were still transitioning to income, to jobs after loss of COVID income and jobs. So we made sure that we provided $50 million. We looked at the budget. I knew there were areas where it was not going to be spent or it was going to be wasted. We brought $50 million and gave it to the students. We gave $200 each to 214,000 students from preschool to high school to make sure that they had an ease of entry into the school. And all the information that we got throughout the country showed that it was used for the right purpose. It didn't go into the nightclubs or bars. People bought bags, stationery, books, uniform, shoes, and it was very much appreciated. So we understand, the imperatives of looking after our people and making sure that there is enough spending. So it's a difficult question, Anita, and I think you're absolutely right. We want to make it administratively simple. There are other taxes that we are looking at. I don't think a lot of businesses would mind paying slightly higher corporate tax, but not be burdened by this huge transaction cost on different types of taxes all over the place. So we are looking at all that. And I think the Fiscal Review Committee has made some very good suggestions. Not all of them would be possible in the budget, but we have a very clear view of what we are going to do. And if we can't have a single rate, we will certainly, I can tell you this, we are certainly not going to have 3 rates. That is something that I can reveal to you now.